So, problem number 4 on the review. So this is a 3-point cross problem, largely just dealing with figuring out which gene is in the middle. So what is the gene order? So we're dealing with 3 genes, X, Y, and Z. And we're told that the most abundant classes are X, big Y with small z, and little x, little y, and big Z. And then the rarest classes are these guys, which are going to be little x, big Y, big Z, and big X, little y, little z. Now, the most abundant classes are always going to be the parentals in these 3-point crosses, or in any cross involving linkage. The parentals are always the most abundant. And then in these 3-point crosses, the rarest ones are always going to be the double recombinants. And the key then is just to compare these two, and these will tell you which gene is in the center. So essentially, because the gene in the center is the one that gets flipped in these sorts of problems, you can basically just compare one of these double recombinant chromosomes to one of the parental chromosomes and look for sort of the one that does match or the one that doesn't match. So in this, if you were to compare this chromosome to this chromosome, you would see that we have little x, big Z, these two match. Y does not match, which means that Y is the gene that's in the center. So in this case, X, Y, and Z, these are in the correct order on the chromosome. And in case you're worried about whether this should be X, Y, and Z or Z, Y, and X, it really doesn't make a difference. So there's not really any meaning to the right or left in these drawings. So just kind of go a bit further with this. So if you were to compare, say, this same chromosome we picked here to this chromosome up here, what you would find is something different but leads you to the same answer. You'd see that the small x and the big X do not match each other in the case. Small z with big Z do not match each other, but the y's do match each other. So in this case, the one that matches is the one that's in the middle, which is Y. But if you were to compare this one with this one, it would be the one that does match, or the one that doesn't match is the one that's in the middle. So it will either be the one that does match, if you're comparing, say, this one and this one, you'll see that there's one that matches. Or if you were to compare this one and this one, you would see that there's one that does not match. Which again, but it leads you to the same conclusion, that it's Y that's in the middle.